We're back. This is Health This Week. I'm Don Baillargeon. Thanks for staying with us. I'm joined now by Dr. Stan Wasman. Dr. Wasman, always good to see you.
Good to see you, Don.
You know, it was occurring to me, and one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about on this week's program, that as we're seeing all of these things going on with the economy, people all of a sudden are finding themselves uprooted and moving, maybe changing city to go after a job because they were laid off in one particular job that they had, or maybe with all these rash of foreclosures, they've lost a home, they've moved to another city, maybe they've moved back to the city of their birth, but there's been an upheaval in the American society of people moving around, and the first thing I think of is if you get to a new town, you've got to take care of your health care, and there are things you need to look for when selecting a new general practitioner, because as we've talked about before, your general practitioner is really the captain of the ship of your health care, because he or she is going to direct you to specialists if you ever do need specialists for various ailments. So what does someone look for when trying to locate a new GP?
Well, there's certainly not one answer. My approach would be more old-fashioned, and that would be to rely on word of mouth for a reference.
Okay.
Now, what are you going to look for in a doctor, in a doctor's office? It's very helpful to have a good front and back office staff. You know, people who greet you at the door, who are cordial, pleasant, helpful, energetic, enthusiastic. Those are all important things. Now, as far as for a physician, of course everyone wants a physician who's kind, caring, compassionate. Your introduction really points out the need for a doctor, primary care doctor, to have good communication skills. That has never been more important than it is today. The doctor has to communicate not just with the staff, and with the patients, with the family members, often a lot of email communication. Often primary care doctors have to interface with the insurance company and keep a cool head. Often primary care doctor has to communicate with a slew of specialists, which is time-consuming and, you know, requires a lot of energy and thought.
Well, you know, when you think of someone, let's say someone has had to move from Denver to Los Angeles because, for whatever reason, because of the economy, they had to take a new job in a new city. So now you're moving from a city of a couple million people to a city of many, many millions of people, and it can be a daunting task to try to locate and do some of the things that you're talking about. If you don't know anybody in your new city, it's kind of hard to you know, obtain any kind of word of mouth. Does it become an internet search, a phone book search? I mean, how can people get to that first step?
Yeah, often it would be one of those things, or it's a matter of people being restricted by what their insurance company allows. You'd be surprised how many people I meet who have an insurance book that has the contracted providers, you know, not doctors, but contracted providers, you know, and from that list, they're required to pick a doctor. Well, how the heck do they do that?
I know.
It's not an easy thing.
No.
But there's got to be some personal connection. You know, either people you know at work or at school or your place of worship or your neighbors. Those are often very helpful resources to try to find a physician with whom you fit.
Well, it's interesting because sometimes people will spend more time picking out a new pair of slacks than they will picking out a new doctor.
Slacks are important.
Slacks are important. But, I mean, there are sources such as you said, like you said, your place of worship, or even your new job. Ask your coworkers, you know, I'm looking for a doctor and that type of thing. Do you advocate actually making appointments with people and interviewing them to see if there is that connection, that fit, so to speak?
I think it's a good idea, but I don't know how practical an idea it is, because let's face it, if someone makes an appointment to see a physician, there's expense involved. Sure. And are you going to recommend people, you know, pay whatever, a couple $100 for an initial evaluation, just, you know, for getting together? It also depends on the physician and their office, I suppose. You know, it's something physicians should be flexible with. You know, just a sort of a get-together. You try me, I try you, see if there's a fit there, you know, if we can build a relationship.
Yeah, unlike a used Chevrolet, there's no test drive of a doctor, I suppose.
I guess not.
Dr. Stan Wasman, thank you so much. I appreciate the advice.
Thank you, Don.
Take care. To learn more about the guests that we have on Health This Week, be sure to visit the guest directory at our website, healththisweek.com. Imaging 3 Incorporated is a company. They're publicly traded. IMGG is their stock symbol. You can reach them by telephone at 800-900-9729. You can also visit their website and see dramatic images of the Dominion at work. Again, that website is imaging3.com. Dr. Sheila Foreman is a clinical psychologist in Santa Monica, California. She is also a radio and television personality as well as an attorney. They say that she has the mind of an attorney but the heart of a therapist. Dr. Sheila can be reached at 310-828-8004 or at her website, drsheilaforeman.com. Nick Delgado is an expert on anti-aging. You can read more information about Nick and visit his many websites with the portal. His web portal is nickphd.com. Again, Nick Delgado at nickphd.com. And Dr. Stan Wasman is a general practitioner in South Orange County, California. He's also known as the house call doctor. He's a doctor who does still make house calls. His website is schousecalls.com. Again, visit his website to learn more about Dr. Stan Wasman. Well, that's our program this week. I want to thank you very much for joining us once again. If you'd like to watch this program again right on your computer, you can visit our website at healththisweek.com. We'll see you again next week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Don Baillargeon. Have a good week. Stay healthy.